Good evening everyone, and how are we doing? What a day it's been. Misaki, good to see you. What a day it's been, guys. We've had the AMA. Now I've got to admit the AMA did catch me off guard a little bit. I don't know why, but this week it's just been so all over the place for me in terms of keeping on track of days and events and what I meant to be doing yesterday and tomorrow and all this kind of stuff. So it did catch me off guard, but it caught me off guard in the best. Well, just check this. See my hair there. It caught me off guard in the best possible way because I was actually doing nothing while it was happening. Normally, when these things catch you off guard, it could be a bit of bad luck and you're like super busy and you can't really engage with it. But I was able to kind of track the first, the main 15 questions. I was able to follow all that as it was coming out. And then when I got into the kind of the free for all, I kind of caught little bits and pieces. I didn't think there was much in the second part as there was the first. I might be wrong on that. We'll revisit that tonight once we get you guys showing up and whatnot. We'll dive into that in a bit more detail. We'll give thoughts and analysis and that kind of stuff as best we can. We'll also be going through, of course, Gameweek 164. I've been building this up in my mind for the last probably 10 days or so after panning out how the fixtures were going to all kind of fall in lay, and it feels hollow now because FC Seoul and Ki Sung Young are missing the next 8 game weeks down to COVID protocols or something. Just it's such a kick in the teeth. So we've got a great game week team wise, but I've not quite got every powerful card. I'm still waiting to get them all together in the one game week and really unleash the club upon SO5 as a whole. But we'll go through that. I've already picked out my teams. I'm probably will edit them as the stream goes through. And we'll just kind of touch on everything else. We're getting our first Brazilian club tomorrow. Personally, I would like it to be Corinthians, Flamengo or Fluminense. Maybe Palmeiras. They're probably my 4 I would prefer it to be. If it was teams like Grêmio or Vasco da Gama, I'm trying to think of anyone else. Even Sao Paulo, of course. Sao Paulo are a top team. They're probably one of my preferred teams also. Really looking forward to it. I think I will dip into the market tomorrow depending on what the club is. Just see if I can pick up something, you know what I mean? Because it's the first Brazilian club, and I did feel that way with River Plate when they came on, but I don't know, it's just, I think we've been waiting for the Brazilian club for so long. There's always been Gimnasia La Plata, since I've been here anyway. So when River Plate came on, it wasn't, it was new and it was amazing. River Plate are top 3, top 4 clubs in South America, undoubtedly in every metric. But I think tomorrow, with it being a wee bit of Samba, a wee bit of Brazil, I think it's just a little bit extra special. So I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Who do you think it's going to be? The clue, the clue 1, I don't know if there's been clue 2, so if there is, by all means get me up to speed on that. But clue 1 was De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes, 1 and 2. So I don't know if that's I thought maybe at first, maybe there's a team in the Club World Cup that both these guys have played against. But I don't think De Bruyne would have been in a Club World Cup with Chelsea, when he was there, because I don't think he was around there that kind of time. And also Bruno Fernandes, when has he ever been at such a tournament? So it's just because it's Brazil, I'm thinking it's a Brazilian team, obviously. Have they maybe played each other somehow or whatever? Could be a friendly situation, maybe both of them have played them in friendlies at some point over the last couple of years or something. It could be anything, I don't know. So yeah, how's your game week been, guys? My midweek one, I think we'll just start there. It's a little bit of a sad story, to be honest with you. Let me sort the screen out and I'll get you guys involved and see what I'm seeing. But I was flipping and flopping. I was going to do a stream on Monday, and but I did the Twitter Spaces. I had a lot of fun in that, by the way. I'll probably do that again on Monday. But I'll organise it better to make sure I can actually get on the stream, because I ended up just having a really great chat with a lot of guys. We were just talking about just general gameplay and all that kind of stuff. And then as a kind of domino effect, I was late sorting the dinner, I was late sorting the kids, and then and then it became too late. as I'm not going to have time to set up properly, and I'm going to be all over the place, and it'll be terrible. So sorry to let you down for that on Monday. But point being, as I was flipping and flopping, I was like, Dad, go with like a decent gamble in D3, like the likes of like Navas and Bemba, Akinola super rare, and Barco super rare, and somebody else, maybe Zelarayan or something. But then right before the deadline, it was known that Barco wouldn't be playing. So I've got the screen anyway, so I'll pull these up so you can see this. So I was like, okay, well that makes that decision easy. I'm not going D3, just going D4, just go get that ETH, right? And then I set the team up as follows, like this, okay? Now Falcao, I didn't have any striker playing this game week, so I was just putting somebody there, just as like a mascot, if nothing else. And then right before, maybe about 5 hours before the game week, I was looking at it again, and I was thinking, I've only got 4 players that are feasibly playing. Valenzuela did miss the weekend, and I thought it was maybe down to a rest because it was a must-win game for them. But at the last minute, and I sent a picture in in a group chat that I'm in, and I put in Bemba in for him, and I was out, my phone was kicking about doing stuff, but I didn't hit the confirm button. So I get a DNP on the Valenzuela, and it's something lucky. I don't know what Bemba scored tonight. I don't even know if I want to know. If he'd have got me there, he'd have needed something. I've got a decent multiplier on him, so he'd have needed about 50 points basically to get us there. And you know, it was even that patty of scoring, you know, because look at that, in Thursday night at this time, what would you need? 256 to get a tier 3 in global. That's decent, man, you know. So if you did have a good game week, please let me know, because I think there'll be some guys that might have been armed with a stack of a team that was playing midweek, and you might have got a good score as a result, and you maybe won something. So please let us know. But for me, there was not much going on. The previous game week, you've seen on the fleet, we did pull it out. We did amazing. It was all about Larson on the Monday. We had a really good, I'm not going to go through this in too much detail, there's a little bit of a war story to this, which is what we're doing on Monday in the spaces. But the D3 trotted in brilliantly. It was a lot of fun to follow. Isaka was the letdown, you know, it stopped. It was really pushing up high. Still bagging a tier 2 was good, but look at that, 5.2 points away from a tier 1 with Captain Isaka. You know, the Pi one, I don't know why I decided I was captain in Isaka because of that fixture, and the fixture just totally backfired. They lost 1-0. So if I'd captained Depay, I'd have got an extra 25 odd points, 20 points or whatever. And that would have definitely catapulted us right up the leaderboard. So Captain Depay. I've only not captained Depay twice, and I've had this same conversation with myself afterwards. Always Captain Depay. Always Captain Memphis Depay. Always. Simo, good to see you, my man. Thanks for popping in. Mikey Basson, as always, hit that like button. You love it. And Evan, good to see you, my man. Misaki, Sol's next scheduled game is the 22nd to the 23rd. It's a couple of weeks away. I'm kind of hoping that I'm going to get this Gambit Osaka and Sol paradigm where they're catching up with all their fixtures. I've got 3 players that would be involved in that. A defender, a striker and a midfielder, so that I'm hoping that is actually going to pay off for me, that this pain that I'm suffering, or I did suffer with Gamba, and I'm now coming out of a little bit, and I'm now going through with Key. I'm hoping that dissipates. In All-Star D4 we took gambles. Now I must say, guys, this is the first war story. Memphis, I made a comment about it on the stream saying that he'd scored really low the last game week because he got a yellow card, blah de blah de blah. Whenever I say that again, I need to slap myself across the face and check how many yellows does he now have. Because he missed the match altogether. My captain, and I nailed the Ferran Torres call. SoRare done very well against Barca. The goalkeeper who we just won did well. And Falcao did what we expected. He came off the bench. And we're taking a gamble on Falcao scoring a goal. But with the Ferran Torres card being there, it was kind of a gamble anyway. So that was the way that lineup was built. And I don't think I had that much variety for forwards in the last game week either. Champion America D3 was just a lot of okay scores. Titan kind of let it down a little bit, but again I kind of rejigged things after we come off the stream because of a known change to lineups, and it didn't make sense anymore for the lineups the way I'd set it. This D4 was painfully, like, I was really optimistic about it when I set it up, and just nothing came off again. It was just a lot of meh scores. Champion Asia D3, 17 points again from a card. That's all I was away from a card, with 1 super rare and a super rare goalkeeper who, you know, definitely for the type of goalkeeper like Slovak is a very, in the grand scheme of things, affordable card. And if we can make it competitive with, again, the rest of this team is not expensive, you know, if we can make it competitive at D3 level, It must be said, getting him on super rare is definitely my massive boost, and he had a big score this game week, which was lovely. But again, we're getting almost every game week that Asia team is really in amongst it, and we're just missing a goal or an assist or something like that. Champion Euro D3 Renato Sanchez just blew this one, and Saul didn't do too great either, but we had some big scores in there. Hakimi was rocking, Joe David was getting on the score sheet I think again as well. The D2 didn't pan out, we just put gambles together and just went for it. This was part of the Monday joy, Captain Larson. So Super Rare Medina and Super Rare Nemeka, they turned up in a big way. Teze didn't quite turn up, and Van der Voort was okay also. And then this team, Mason, Toy, DNP, out of nowhere, and we were 12 points from a tier 3. That was a really sore one. Vlasic came off at half time. We still managed to carry that. Sanger with a big score, Tio Hernandez with a big score. But so we had 2 or 3 really heartbreaking DNPs across the team last week, but we still picked up a tier 1 and a tier 2. And if you don't know already, we picked up as a reward, so as a result of Larson Monday like we just had, I have decided that the rare Larson goes into my Hall of Fame now, because he's now won me like 8 or 9 cards, and the card he won this week was it was my better one. Was it the Usami? No, it was Barco. He won me so the 2 cards I pulled was Ezekiel Barco and Takashi Usami. So that Larson contributed to the Barco win, which was a phenomenal card to win again. That's the second rare Barco I've won within the last 5 weeks or something like that, which is great. And Takashi Usami has been long on my favourites list. I've been really stingy with when I've been trying to buy him and stuff, and then the big rushes have happened and all the rest of it. I've kind of shot myself in the foot. So to finally win him, I'm actually really happy. And with a lot of conversations that I've been having with people recently, in like things like spaces and whatever, talks about different regions, and if you don't know too much or whatever, it's always good to just pick up like 2 or 3 cards from as many different regions as you can, because then if you do win a card in that region that's decent, you can actually use it. You don't need to sell it. You can actually put that back into the game and really boost your club up with it, so again, really happy it's one that I'm familiar with, and a guy that will complement my existing kind of roster or whatever. Yeah, tragic Misaki, isn't it? Watching whilst away, having a well-deserved break. Mikey boy, where did you go? Where did you take yourself, son? Let me know. Toby boy, hi, good to see you. Can't wait to see what you get from those rewards. You've seen it now. So I got a Barco and a Lusami, which for a tier 1 and a tier 2, I cannot complain at all. Now I've already set these teams up. There's a decent chance we're going to rejig around. Okay, now we've got a good amount of teams out. I think we'll start in global. Okay, so D3 is normally where we go. And I think I'm going to be making a little amendment, as I was kind of dotting about before coming on the stream tonight. John, if you're here, watch the video, good listen. And he was talking about the Depay situation, and I actually totally forgot about this from last week. It paid off for me. I don't think he was actually in a winning team, was he? Oh no, he was in that D3 team that bagged the Usami. So the information I had that made me play him last week says that he is suspended for this week, and I've not heard anything since. So I'm actually going to take him out of this team, and I don't think I can put Usami in there, because that's just too tough a fixture to go into what should be my best team. So I'm looking for my best striker really that I've used somewhere else that can be movable, except for the D3s, because I've already got him laid out, and I'm pulling him in here. So I've got Ueda's out injured. Got Joe David awaiting loans. I've got Sorloff at Leipzig. I've had a few injuries. I'm not really too sure I want to be back in there this game week. Higuain should be back, but I've got him in America. Hitate could play midfield, but I don't think I'd want him in this team. And I'm actually quite light for options up front outside my super rares this game week, because outside Usami, I know Hernandez will play, so I want my best rare striker really. I've got Jordan Larson there, he's in D4. Joe David, I think it'd have to be Joe David, or maybe even Sani. The thing with I think I do pull Sani into this, don't I? The thing with Sani, right, is I think he's definitely like one of the favoured players at Bayern. If he's fit, he plays kind of thing. Doesn't always get 90 minutes. And what I was kind of thinking when I put the Champ Euro team together and I put him in it, I'm definitely putting Sani into this, I think. is the wee break might actually rejuvenate him, because he had some really good form for me. He was in my best 5 easily in my club for a long period, maybe about 5 or 6 game weeks, and then the last basically 5, he's been off the boil a bit. So this little break they've had, I'm hoping that pays off for him. Gladbach will concede goals. Zelarayan I'm playing in this team as well, because he didn't play midweek in the CCL because he was suspended, so there's no reason for him not to play against DC, and DC will give him time and space on the ball. So I've now got a different option. Do I play Captain Sané? I had to go Captain Zelarayan out of the two of them, because I expect him to get more minutes, and being at home to DC. Now there is a stat that goes against Zelarayan, and it's CCL teams going to domestic, they normally don't do too well the immediate game after. I don't think any of them have won in a while. I heard a stat for that on the podcast recently. I'm really happy with this global D4 team, by the way. They're all going to play. Eli came back into the squad finally. He shot a 73 for Kansas. They're at home at Austin, and I think he'll get to play his same type of match again, regardless of the score and the outcome. So if he was to score between 60 and 80 points, I wouldn't be really that surprised. Wirtz has just signed a new deal. I'm just not really too sure on his standing in the starting 11 now, because I've not really been following Leverkusen as tightly as I was earlier this year. Joe Davis should play alongside Yilmaz. They're gunning for the title. They will not be taking any risks. Don't think Renato Sanchez plays either. I think they'll go with Andre and Zika again. And the goalkeeper's been really solid since we picked him up. He's been in good form, and Dumfries needs to fucking pay off. We're putting him captain because of the game he's got. I'm expecting him to get a lot of crosses into the box. The Saka forward is a huge pickup. I'm down on the Mumbles. Swansea away, fantastic coastline, bloody lovely break even from something. Do you know what I've tried to take myself away from the internet world for the last kind of 10 days here, and that's why there's not been as much content on the channel, guys, but there's a lot of stuff that is about to come, so brace yourself. But it's good you're getting away, Mikey boy. I hope the weather's good. It's been pretty miserable up here, but there's been some nice little spells. Watch out for the rotation in the Belgian playoffs. Screwed a lot of people in the last game week. The goalkeeper especially well en router. But again, if you were in the Twitter spaces, we had 242 in the spaces. He is from Belgium, so we were having a wee chat about Anderlecht and company. It was actually a good laugh. So again, that's been the great thing about the spaces, is it's like you can have a chat with people, and you can actually just ask questions and stuff. It's great me reading out the comments and interacting with the stream and the live chat and whatever, but it's just much better conversationally. Now, we're actually putting out that this D2 could do nothing, or it could do it all. Steve Clark, I've got no idea what his situation is, why he's not really playing or anything. I know initially he was injured or whatever. I do remember that happening as I'm now speaking, but I'm not seeing him around. I don't know what's happening. I'm just putting him in this team. Trippier, I can't in full conscience play him in a full team, but see now, without having Depay, I'm not too sure if that might open something up for Trippier perhaps. And then the other 3 MLS under 23 guys I've got here, they could Efra Alvarez is the biggest gamble. He started the last match, and I would suspect that is only he's only going to get more minutes off the back of that, so. And Akinola started midweek, so equally I'd expect him to get minutes this coming match away to the Red Bulls, which will be good. And then Kessler is really solid since he's come into the club. I've not really been able to use him yet, but as you can see, his scores are tidy, between 40 and 60 quite comfortably. So for a super rare defender, that's like a great little base to build a team off of, so that could do anything. And some of those guys I'll have in the back of my mind if I'm going to rejigger other things around, really. Now, this is the second team that I'm most excited about this game week. It is the Teze-Sanguer partnership. Looks to be back. Sanguer back for PSV in the last match. Shot 70 plus without a goal contribution. He didn't get booked or anything, but I think he's back in charge. I think he's back in form. And Teze shot okay last week, but Teze's got a big score in him. And I think PSV have got a really good fixture against Willem too. As you can see, I played the Denzel and the D4 as well. Willem 2 are, they're fighting towards the bottom, but PSV are really gunning. They need to hold on to those European spots. They've got a lot of big signings at the club, a lot of guys on big wages. There's already talk that Götze might leave in the summer. And, when you're a club at PSV and you bring 28-year-olds, don't forget maybe 29 at this point, Mario Götze into the club, you don't want them to come in for a season and then leave, so I'm sure European qualification will be a vital topic for them. And then Kosai Tani, the man. Oita Trinita are not a high scoring team typically, so I'm quite the form Tani's been in has been stellar, but I don't think Oita Trinita are a team that should give them much trouble anyway. And then obviously Larson and the Mecha up front, both of them should almost certainly start. They're both at home, they're both against teams that you'd expect them to score goals against. So this team This team is podium dangerous. Podium dangerous. Teze played right back last week, was expecting more too. Oh, that will probably be a wee bit of his score then, because again, he's played right back for Holland under 21s I've seen as well. But he's definitely a centre back, you know. So XMK Productions, thank you very much for that bit of info. I never caught that myself. Glad to see Eli Sanchez back up too. Against Alex Ring should be interesting, but I don't think Eli will be going after Ring. I think I'll leave that to our boys in midfield, Kinda and what's our boy's name? I forgot now. Busio. Busio's wider central, of course, but I think they'll have them running about because Eli's a little kind of, you know, off the defender player, you know, a little anchor midfielder. So I'm really excited for those lineups. Now, as you know, guys, when I'm making these lineups, those global and under 23 ones, I like them to be varied. I like them to be diverse. Now, this team is really solid. We're going D4 with it because we didn't really have the super rares, like you know, with Renato Sanchez being a bit shaky with injury at the moment, and what was that? Trippier having Barca. It's quite difficult to really go after a D3 when I think, you know what, I can really just put together a banging D4 and go after it. But without Depay, it does present an issue for us up front because we've taken Sorloth into All-Star D3. We've got Joe David in D4. So we're then looking at Sorloth. Now Sorloth, I'm always happy to play him, but if I don't play him, he'll score and I'll be happy, you know. But if I do play him, he won't score, then I'll be sad. So it's a weird paradigm that I've got with this card. So do you know what? I think I play him because he's a bit of a differential. He could score against Dortmund. I don't even know if he's going to start. To be honest with you, I've kind of followed Leipzig for the last week or two, and even as I'm saying all this out loud, it just screams bad decision. So I don't think I want to do it. So it's just where I've got my camera positioned. It's kind of, I'm just going to move it around a wee bit. There we go. We can see it a bit better now. I've also got Diatta there. And then thinking, did I maybe pull the Joe? I think I pulled the Joe David in here, and then I just find another striker for All Star D4. Yeah. So I'm really happy with that team. They've all got really good fixtures, and I'm sure I've got. Yeah, I could even put Sammy in this. You know, like it's a global team. He could score a goal. I could put Sanchez in it as well. Sammy is at home. I've got Vela, who could be a right gamble. I could just drop Vela in back in. It's a really solid team. I don't know if I would want to risk it all for a biscuit, you know. It should be a crime to split up Tripliac here, right? But I don't know. But it's funny, right? Because I actually think I seen this fixture coming up when I was looking towards this game week, right? And it was immediately brought back to the last time Atletico won the league. If you recall, they won it on the last day of the season. I think at the new camp. It might have been at the Atletico Madrid old. It was the old stadium they won the title, and I'm sure it might have been the new one. Could be wrong. But anyway, and it was a shutout. It was typical Simeone performance, grind out the game, whatever. So I was thinking it could be like that again, and that would actually play into the hands of the guys I'm talking about. But the way the combinations I've got and everything, I'm not bending teams to make more teams, if that makes sense. So he wouldn't go in ahead of Hakimi on current form and the fixture, and my under 23s, Hakimi could go into, for example. I'm double strikering in there, so there's just no room to get the Trippier in because I don't have another super rare to accompany him at D4 level, at D3 level, I beg your pardon, because of Renato Sanchez. Cuisance isn't guaranteed any minutes. So I've got Falcao and Challenger D4. Now I know what I'm getting with Falcao. He's definitely going to come off the bench. He could get a goal. It's a big derby game. It's a really important match. Higuain, I've seen he made training today, so I'm confident he will feature. Quite sure he would start. So it's just really that blood to Sammy, that take the gamble. Chicharito could get a penalty or something. So I don't know how Galaxy are going to score from open play. From what I've seen of them, especially in the last match when you've seen how easy it was to rattle them. Vela is just a pure gamble. Hatate is back in the team, you know, but he's a tough one, Hatate. So he's under 23 as well, so then I think if I'm going to play him, that would be better. Maybe I would be better playing him in under 23s. But do you know, actually? Oh, what could I do? I just thought about something there. Could I play Hatate? I'm thinking about actually moving things around to suit my will. I think what was that D4 again? Let me check my under 23 D4. So I'm thinking Hatate could go in there, right? He's just like, you know, when the game weeks are this big and this appealing and my gallery is this strong, I do try and avoid the risks. So this is the D4 I went for. I don't think I showed you this, sorry. Van de Voort, Chris Richards, Yari Verscharen, Ayo Tanaka, and the Hall of Famer Jordan Larson. So what I was actually just thinking is, do I take Hall of Famer Jordan Larson and put him in to my All-Star D3 and get Sani back into Champ Euro and Joe David back into... I think that could be the move, by the way. I'll upgrade him from D4 to D3 because I know he's got it in him. Could I even do that with Ayo Tanaka? Because no, I need a striker because it's Medina and Hakimi. Yeah, that was the super rares, so I need the striker. So what do you think, guys? That could work, I think. I think I'm going to kind of do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Joe David in here. Yeah, I'm going to go Joe David in here, away to Lons. And then that is going to allow me to get Sani back into here. So I'm really happy with Sani being in this team. I'm really happy with this team. I'm really hoping that does really well. And it is a crime to split up Triple Act. But it's at D4 is where All Black's going. You know, it's not like it's not really cheating on him because he's not at D3 without him. Usami against the league leaders who are very strong at the moment. Yes, yeah, it was covering the free suspension. All Black without Trippier feels dirty. It definitely does a wee bit. Should be a crime to split. Oh, Mike, I didn't even see your comment before that. Sorry, man. Usami against the league leaders who are very strong. Yeah, that is the thing. Is like, even though Gamba are at home, they have played less games, but it's a big match. It's a top table clash, you know, which makes it difficult. And then we're going to get Larson into here, and then I think we captain Jordan off the back of that. Now, I'm thinking about that stat. Is there anyone who could replace Zellerayan? Who would be the best midfielder, or the best extra player? Could be the best player to go in here that's not in under 23s, basically. Who could be the best player? I went with Zellerayan because he didn't play midweek, so I expect him to be fresh and fit and firing on all cylinders as a result. I'm just having a quick glance over this just to make sure I've not changed my opinion on anyone, perhaps. Oh, what's just happened? Hey, I think we're back. That was weird. Is all okay? Cool. If anything weird happened there, guys, let me know. I think it's sticking again. No, there we go. So sorry, I've totally lost track. That really distracts me. I hate when I get little technical glitches. I feel so bad. I hate it. Maybe Robbo. I don't like going double defender. It doesn't excite me. Maybe Trippier, by the way. Oh no, I can't. That's free super rares. I'm a tit. I definitely need a little bit more strength in midfield. I think I've got a lot of good midfielders, but in terms of this, without Key, I really need Key. You know, Key would make me so much happier in this situation right now. Tio Hernandez against Juve is a bit of a gamble. That's why I've not picked him, I suppose. Nah, I think I'm sticking with this. I think Zellerayan. He's definitely going to play. He's a top player. It's a good fixture. Yeah. That'll do. Right, so that then means we've got our striker to move around or do something with. I think we're putting Hatate into this. Is that what we're doing? Or Usami. Okay, so I've basically worked it around. So I'm getting a better. I'm making sure I've got my Champ Euro and under 23s that I'm really happy with, and now I'm looking for a global. So Chicharito will definitely play. Just don't know how well he'll do. Same with Usami. Definitely will play. Just don't know how well he could do. Vela, question mark. Toy, question mark. Hatate. Hatate is kind of the guy I swung this around for. So with them being away and then being in midfield and then Falcao. I'm not picking Falcao, I don't think. It's going to be Chicharito or Hatate or Usami. Oh, Jesus. Do you know what I'm doing all this? I think I should just... Atati, Usami, Chicharito. Tough decisions, guys. Tough decisions. Evening, Ross. How are we doing? I think once I've sorted this little dilemma out, it is a dilemma. I think I've wanted Usami for so long that I throw him into this, but then I think Chicharito in a derby has to. No, it's a derby. It's El Tráfico. I definitely need Hernandez in a team. Fuck it. That's what's happening. That's what's happening. Chicharito is in global D4 now. Wee fuzzy noise, mate. What? Tati looks the safest, Mikey. You think so? I realise it's still live. You can see it. You know, that actually makes me worried that like my computer's just been hacked or something. Because like my second screen just went all black. My screen here that's got the stream on it and whatever just froze, and then I was pure freaking out. I was like, what's going on? And for you guys, that's weird. So I'm actually quite panicky. I'm not putting any passwords into fucking anything, guys. I'm sorry. So if I now need to sign into anything, it's not happening tonight. Sorry. Call me Parrot. Right, okay, so Challenger Europe is a punty team that we're throwing out. We don't have a goalkeeper that will be playing. I've just put Ethan Horvath in there for the XP, like, fuck it, why not? And then double defence, Akhmatov and Falcao. Just, it's just training, basically. You never know, but you never know. They could all fall into place and bag me a tier 3. That would be smashing. America, I'm only going D4 down to the goalkeepers. Titon, Cincinnati don't have a game this game week, which was a small kick in the teeth. But I've got the Scottish. I love how they're organised right now because all three of them are together. I've got the trifecta, MLS, Scottish, Trident of Death. We've got Danny Wilson, we've got Lewis Morgan, and we've got Johnny Russell. All of them, I've got big scores in them. Danny Wilson is on good form now. Played 3 games this season. You can see his scores. Minnesota have been rotten so far. Colorado at home. I think he plays. I think he does well. Lewis Morgan, if the Higuains are back in town, they're at home at Atlanta. Like I said earlier on with Zella Ryan, I think it's something like, yeah, it must be this season. MLS sides have played 7 times after Europe before this match day, or something like that. It was, maybe it was 8, or it must be an even number, I suppose. No, there was 5 of them. So yeah, it's like seven times, and it was like 3 draws, 4 losses. So I fancy Miami to do well against Atlanta. They don't really need to win. I just need Higuain and Morgan to be involved in a goal together, or each. That would be lovely. And then Johnny Russell made a start, which was great in the last game week. He's the captain. They're getting good form. Austin, I've got their tail feathers up. It should be an open match, and open matches are good for attacking players because it allows attacking players the opportunity to get in. And Cisniga is my best choice for an American goalkeeper this game week, so that's a no-brainer. Absolutely easy. Now, I'm hoping I'm not being biased when I'm picking that Scottish team. I actually do really like, and I do believe in them. The Champion Asia, I think I've showed you. No, I haven't. I was talking about that from the last game week. So you could probably imagine what it looks like. It looks very similar most game weeks. Oh, the mic's making a little fuzzy noise. I wonder if that's made it any better. Keep me in the loop, Ross. But yeah, it looks pretty much the same most game weeks. I fancy all the fixtures these guys have got. I like it that they're all in different teams as well, so it keeps me appraised of like the full division almost. You know, who's winning, who's doing well. So Captain Machida has been in great form, and the Antlers at home to Tokyo should be a good game. Marcos Jr. at home to Vissel Kobe, who we know can concede goals. Chana Tips against a good team, and so is Osaka. So that could do well. Last week it was like 17 points away, as we said, and this week it could be even closer, if not hit the nail on the head. So we've got some really exciting teams out. I did have a look at, so I don't think I'm going to need any of those D2 guys, so I'm happy just to leave this team out there as training. As you can see, like if I click on Trippier and I just try and look for super rares, right, even used in training or whatever, you'll see, so Nemeka's taken, Medina's taken, Barco is injured. I don't know if he's going to make this game or not. As of now, I'm not gambling on it, so I'm not putting together an America D3 with a Barco in it. Hakimi's taken, Larson's taken, and then I think after that it's just like Paulinho and Diego Costa and Cuisance. Matarita's not got a match, so again that's another super rare I would have normally. Darwin Núñez doesn't have a match. Ki-Sung Young doesn't have a match. Renato Sanchez, injury concern, don't know where he's at. Key Azawi, he's getting back in the team. Not putting him in anything this game week. So I don't mind just throwing this together and just going fuck it. Let's see what happens. I know the defenders will play, and I know the other two guys. I think the other two guys have got a good chance of featuring, and the goalkeeper's a big question mark. But again, the goalkeeper's pretty much the only choice I've got. So I'm happy to run with that. We'll see what happens. If I got a tier 3 super rare for that team, I would actually be quite happy. So hey ho. Right, let's see. Can I just go into this? I don't need to sign in, do I? Because I'm a wee bit worried about that whole black screen KP. So I've got the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl game week 1. I won it, which was lovely. Now we've got 9 guys in here. We've got a prize has been put up from SoRare data, and if you're watching this and you're in this, hit me up in a DM on Twitter. We've made a little group chat. There's like 4 or 5 of us in there now. I'd ideally like to get the whole division together, because I can set, and you can too when you do your private leagues, when the game weeks are. So if like anyone's absolutely snookered for a game week and just cannot field a team, then I'm not going to play the game week and screw somebody. You know, we can control it and make sure it's as fair and as competitive as possible. So if you are in the league and you're involved in the group chat, hit me up on Twitter, and because you must have seen my Twitter if you're in the league, because that's how you know about it, is from the tweet. So hit me up on Twitter and we'll get you in the group chat. We'll make sure we're all singing from the same hymn sheet. So in goals for this game week, who will I go for the Flint, Michigan, I was going to say Bay City, the Flint, Michigan Mega Bowl. I think in goals for this one, who do I think has got my best chance of doing well? It's probably Navas, but see, the thing about Navas that makes me a wee bit worried about the team that he's in is like sometimes they'll just put fucking Sergio Rico in goals. I'm going to go with Tanny. I think Tanny's probably my best goalkeeper this game week, and then I'll put All Black as my number 2 in case something crazy happened and Tanny wasn't playing. Your lineup has been saved. Yeah, that's fine. Defence. So in defence, we've got a lot of different options yet again. It might be a fan. Oh, it might be the computer. Let me push this back a bit. Could well be, by the way. Sorry guys, you don't normally hear that. I wonder what I'll do is I'll turn my mic down a bit, and that might just take the sting out of it. Let me know if that's too quiet or whatever. But sorry, I was just trying to. So in terms of defence, who do I fancy to do the best assist? I think I'll put Van Elwick in it, because why not? Danny Wilson, why not? And let's go T&Cs. I've still got Hakimi. No, I don't want to. Oh! Why is Chris Richards got a red X? Oh, I need to go check that out. And then I have room for one more sub. I'm going to put Danny Wilson. Sorry, pal. I'm going to play Danny Wilson because I played somebody else that I wanted to last game week and it paid off. I'm going to take out T&Cs and I'll put in Hakimi. I just love Hakimi. Where are you, son? Hakimi. Bang. And then we'll put Jack Henry on the bench. Have you seen that video of him that's going around Twitter? He's a bit of a hero now. So we'll put. Oh, do you know how many Scottish defenders have I got? Just the 2. Who else is there? That's just the 2, isn't it? Did I put both of them in? Let's do it. Let's get the Scottish boys in. Hendry. Oh, I could get Bates. If I signed Bates, I could have a Scottish back 3. That would be cool. Be 2 Rangers players and 1 Celtic player, but that's not too cool. Oh, I've got Robbo. Oh, brilliant. Yes, let's get Robbo in this team. So we're going with a Scottish back 3. Love it, man. That must have been pure obvious. Hendo, you'd have been there screaming at home. Robbo. So we've got a Scottish back 3. That's lovely. That is lovely, right? And then who do we put on the bench? Let's just put. Let's put Koki. No, let's not put Koki. Let's put. We'll put T&Cs. No, Hakimi. We'll do Hakimi. Put Hakimi on the bench. So I like that little back 3. Midfielder. Where are we? Right, okay. Who's got the best matches? So we've got to keep the theme going. So we're getting Morgan in the team. I think we're going to pick. Well, I was going to say Eli as well, but I think we might go with. I'm not going to be playing Torres this game, so I've got no idea who they're going to play against Chelsea. That's the thing with City this game week. They could do anything this game week just to fuck Chelsea over. Like, they could just play a pure random team and act like they're preparing for the final. Like some my tactical thing. It's got to be Sangair in goals in midfield. With Zella Ryan. And then our left mid, we've got Morgan on the right. So I want a wee right footer on the left to cut in. SoRare? Who have they got? Valladolid? Oh yeah, SoRare. Damn, maybe put SoRare in my D3. Who was it we just seen get a red cross? Richards. I think after this little team, guys, I'm going to dive into the announcements. I actually haven't got to that yet. No, I was kind of thinking, yeah, about 5 more minutes and we'll get to the announcement. I'll finish this team out. So yeah, I'm actually really happy with that midfield 4. And then the sub, let's do Medina. And do I want the captain to be a midfielder? Let's say, nah. Save. I don't know why I save it between all the positions. You probably don't need to, but I'm just fearful that I need to be proactive and do it all again rather than be lazy. So Johnny Russell goes in, keep the theme going. Jordan Larson goes in, and then I don't want to be just super boring and play Nemeka because I want to have a bit of fun with this team. I know I've got the Scottish boys in. Got the Scottish boys, got Larson. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play. Oh, Depay's. Yeah, he's got that red cross. He's got that red cross. SoRare data knows. SoRare data knows. I think we're playing Nemeka. We're being boring. I'm going to drop this Larson from. Nah, I'll just leave that. Nah, I'll tell you that. I want to be rares, just for the aesthetic. It's the Flint Michigan Mega Bowl. We need it to be the best players that I just love for this game. Oh, let's put Falcao in. Yeah, let's put Falcao in. Why not? And then on the bench, Nemeka. Right, Nemeka can go on the bench. That's cool. And then we've got Falcao on. Let's go Captain Larson. Got a good ring to that, isn't it? I was screaming Robbo. Stefan, good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us. Lineup saved. Right, okay, cool, sorted. So, I don't think the AMA is going to be on this, is it? I don't think it is. Right, okay, 2 seconds, guys. I'm going to pull you back to me, and then I'm going to go get Discord up. Okay, so if you didn't catch the AMA, I suppose most of you probably did. But I thought it went really, really well. I linked a lot of the questions that got made and subsequently upvoted. So if you submitted one of the questions that got asked, thank you very much, because I always actually get like writer's block or something like that. It's because see, when it comes to these AMAs, and it's like, oh, what questions do you want? I actually just go blank and I think, oh, what do I want? And then I look at all the questions other people asking, and I think, oh, well, that's nailed it. But it's much better than anything I'd come up with by myself. So well done to you all. Let's have a quick peek through. So there was like 2 or 3 things that really jumped out to me when they came out, the answers for them. We'll kind of get to them as we come to it, I suppose. Just scrolling back to the top. Yesterday? In the AMA? Today? There we go, today. So weird. Why? I don't know why I said yesterday, maybe my screen was tripping there for a second. What did you guys think about the AMA? What was your thoughts? What was the thing that was most exciting to you? What was the thing that you seen and you're like, oh, I'm so glad they're doing that? Or that's it. You know, if there's anything you're disappointed with, let me know. Okay, so that's it, open it to everyone. I seen Hendo got a question asked and answered as well, so well done, Hendo. If that's a thing you can congratulate for, I suppose, I don't know. That was cool to see. Right, okay, so let's go get it up on the screen. Sorted. So the first question, frustrating to see the same accounts up at the top, yada yada, and then they're talking about the Academy League. Now I actually heard this kind of floated on the SoRare podcast by Hybe and You'll Never Walk Alone. So I suspect this is something that's been kind of bandied about the Discord channel, because I've just not really been on Discord for the last 2 months or so. So yeah, it's good to see that there's something in the works that is, you know, special for, you know, anyone to enter. Commons can go, there's no scarcity bonuses or anything like that, and then you get a mixture of different rewards, which is lovely as well. We won't stop here. In the long run, our goal is to ensure our division structure is as competitive and as fair as possible to skill, knowledge and scouting. We are challenging the entry requirements of our division structure to reach this goal, while also ensuring the galleries of larger accounts are not impacted. So got to remember there's equilibrium to be had. I find it hard to sell my own cards while they're being auctioned to auction them off. They are looking into different elements for that kind of stuff as well, which was cool, like counter offers and the thing about predetermined messages, right, which I appreciated the sentiment behind this as soon as I read it. I don't know if you have or not, right, but what you've got to remember is this SoRare community is multilingual. So by having predetermined messages, that means they're auto-translated. So if I say you're sorry or thanks but no thanks, and it's a predetermined message that SoRare are implemented, if I send that to a Japanese person, that is going to be completely translated perfectly to mean the same thing to them. It's not going to be like broken Japanese, or if someone sends a message to you, it's not going to be like broken English. It will make sense, and you'll be able to communicate more effectively as a result, rather than Google Translate and somebody who knows a bit of English and you don't know any of their language and you're trying to communicate with them. So that's a really nice touch. And the whole counter offer thing and whatever has been long overdue, I think, and it's really good to see actually how robust a little system it sounds like it's going to be from the get-go, rather than it being a basic thing that they build up with, you know. So that's a good deployment if it pans out exactly as described there. How do you plan on making SoRare more accessible to average budgets? And we were worrying about the price of ether and all that kind of stuff as well. We've made a big breakthrough in our search for a new blockchain scaling solution right now. I asked this to guys in group chats that I'm in. Does that mean, could that point to an alternative cryptocurrency being the native in-game currency? Could that be what those words mean? Is all I'm asking. Not asking is it, or do you think it is? It's just, is that language that could point to that? Because that's all I'm interested in. We are currently implementing a scaling solution on Ethereum that will drastically improve our experience. Immediate card transfers, reward claims, cheap deposits and withdrawals. Expect to know more about this in the coming weeks. Excellent. Once the scaling solution is live, we'll introduce a new type of scarcity with a new game design that will allow managers with small budgets to compete on SoRare and have fun in new divisions. So I don't think this kind of got a lot of gravity from like people I was talking to, but you know, they're talking about this scaling solution. They will be divulging that in the coming weeks, and then after that they will be introducing a new scarcity type. So again, a lot of people have pointed towards it could be for the beginning of the next European season. So if you think of the now time of the AMA and time of the stream, it's the 6th of May. And if you're talking about a couple of weeks to know more about this, let's just say that takes you to June, and then they take a couple of weeks and then they give us a heads up for, again, maybe a 4 week heads up or a 6 week heads up for a new scarcity. That takes you right into August turf, you know, and around August, July is when pre-season's happening. You've got the early stages of the Champions League qualifiers, all that kind of stuff. So that would fit really quite in around there as well. We're working on a new auction system for the new scarcity that will increase the excitement of acquiring cards while also preventing the prices from ballooning out of control. Now, I suspected, my gut reaction to this, I've seen Gary V talking a lot about his NFT project doing the Dutch auctions, and I only knew kind of what that meant because of Football Index and how they proposed on doing the new version of IPOs. So I believe, my hunch tells me, that this new scarcity will be that kind of blind Dutch auction thing. So it's just not just everyone going, who's got the biggest pocket? It's everyone thinking, right, how much would I actually want to pay for this? Putting it in blind, and then whoever the median one is, or whatever the top, I don't really know full on Dutch auctions, but I know it's kind of blindish. Then that would be good and interesting, and it keeps the primary market honest, you know, and it stops it from, because if it was to, like, if you think about what happened before when prices were booming and rocking, it was just a lot of people jumping in with big wallets fighting with each other, and then that kind of tattoos those prices onto those cards on SoRare data and in your mind, and then it does affect the prices. Whereas like there's not those 4 people that bidded that super rare card or whatever it was up to X amount, they don't really, you know, the world and the values that they hold are not comparable to 95% of the community of the game. And I think this kind of thing would keep that more honest, whereas people would try to judge on comparison cards. You know, card A and B are priced at £120 each, and they're identical to this guy, so this guy should be about £120 as well. Can I get him for 110? I'll put that bid in, or whatever. Or fuck, I really want to get him. I'm going to put in 135 to try and make sure I get him. I don't mind paying over the odds to secure him now. that kind of thing. So that could be really interesting. And to protect the managers' galleries with rare, super rares and uniques, the new scarcity will have their own division which will reward the new scarcity cards. So I think it's going to be a self-contained little ecosystem. And I've said that before when we've spoke about the new scarcity, is it should be a game under the game that we're in. It shouldn't make the whole game, it shouldn't devalue the whole game. It should just be a smaller, cheaper way of playing, you know, which is less stakes, less rewards, if that makes sense. It's just a much more diluted down, self-contained little version, and I think that can work, and I'm sure they've kind of researched it out and buffed it out, so we'll see how all that pans out. We believe the new scarcity will allow a lot of new managers, encourage immediate cool. Carl was really good with his answers in this, I like this. 4. Can you elaborate more on the threshold plans? As you previously confirmed, thresholds will stay for some time, in some form, sorry, I beg your pardon, and I've confirmed that ETH payments will not just be for the top 3. We talked about creating a new threshold feature that facilitated progression. The goals of the new progression are allow managers to gradually work their way up towards even with affordable teams. So regardless of budget, if your budget is less than the competitor, if you put in more time and effort, you should be able to bridge a little bit of that gap, and that's what they're trying to keep in mind as well. Create that idea of every point matters towards your progression. So every, you know, it's the any given Sunday, you know, you got to grab and scratch and claw for every inch, you know, that kind of stuff. Offer an element of choice, strategy, and control. And then when they go on, is it in this little bit as well? Yeah, when they go on to actually detail this, guys, I was buzzing listening to this, because see how they tee it up here, and it's the way they always communicate, and it's the way I like to communicate with some things, or a lot of things, is you're letting people know this is why, this is what's happening, or why I'm saying this, or whatever, and then you explain to them the situation. So they're laying it out for us very clear. This is what we've been thinking. These are the goals we're trying to achieve. These are the buttons we're trying to press, and in order to do this, this is what we've come up with. Okay, so in a given game week, managers will accumulate team points from their All-Star D4 and Global Academy. The Academy was the other division they were talking about above. They'll allow you to play some more commons and that kind of thing. As they did not win a card and did not participate in any higher division, these points will carry over game week to game week. So if you're in All-Star D4 and you shoot 250 points and you don't bag a card, that's fine. That 250 points goes into your progression bar, and it goes on for the next period. Over a 3, and then it goes on to say these points carry over a 3-month period. Okay, now I was actually planning on doing something with the channel, right? And I was going to run, I probably still will do. I was going to run content in seasons, right? So again, you've heard me say this on the channel enough times, but one of my favourite computer games is a game called Rainbow Six Siege, and what they do every 3 months is they run a season, and then in that season there's a theme, and they might like fix a certain map or change a dynamic, or there's always new characters that come out every season, different bits and pieces. And I thought I could do that with my channel. I could do different themes for like a month and call it a season, and have a bit of razzle dazzle about it or whatever, and call it some cool names and have a bit of fun. And it sounds like SoRare are doing something similar. We'll probably have every 3 months. There probably will be a season kind of element to it. You know, like, you know, in Rainbow Six Siege, for example, it's like there's kind of random code names that they give the season in line with the new characters they're releasing. So maybe if they know in the next 3 months we're going to be releasing like 5 South American teams, 2 Mexican teams, and something else in that part of the world or whatever, then they might go, oh, do you know what? Well, this season is like South American madness or something, you know. So that could be really interesting, really engaging, and I'm interested to see how much they flesh that out with. And then these points were represented with a progress bar. Who doesn't love a progress bar when you're playing computer games on the play page? There are multiple reward thresholds in the progress bar. You get the opportunity, I'm not going to read all this bit word for word, right, but you get the opportunity at different intervals throughout the 3-month period to cash in your points for a variety of bonuses. Could be a random rare card, depending on, you know, probably how far the progress bar is up between tier 3 and star, an amount of ether fixed to a fiat value, an amount of XP given to 5 players of their choice in your collection, between 2 level ups per player and 8 level ups per player, which is brilliant. Exact values and stuff might change while they fine tune it, of course. They're just giving us a sneaky peek behind the curtain with this answer at the moment. after you make your choice, the progress bar returns to 0, and if you don't reach any more thresholds by the end of the 3 months, all those points you did have are lost, and it resets to 0 every 3 months, much like it does with. So again, in Rainbow Six Siege, your rank resets every 3 months, which is why the game is so engaging and keeps it quite current. If you think about a shooter game you play, like Call of Duty Warzone or whatever, if you stop playing that for 3 months, your rank wouldn't change, and you'd go back in. And especially, I've not played Call of Duty for a few years, so I might be a wee bit out of turn with how the online side works of it. But your rank can, you should be playing with people of a similar rank to you. But if you've not played it for 3 months, you're going to be rusty. You know what I mean? You're not going to be, your name's not going to be quite on. Your side game with your attachments aren't going to be as good or whatever. So having that reset every 3 months, it means then you don't need to worry about, oh, if I don't play, I'll lose my rank, or pardon me, if I play and I play bad, I'll lose my standing, because every 3 months, it doesn't matter. Well, next season, I might have got off to a bad start this month, but next season I get the chance to do it all over again, and you can kind of leave your sins in the past. Whereas with some computer games that require leveling up and stuff like that and progress, sometimes failure can hang on the game a little while, and it can be frustrating to shake it off. The choice between card, ETH and XP allows for a lot of different strategies, and see the thing that this is really going to open up is see with you and your gallery, that relationship that I always talk about, that you really need to have a good fine tune of your cards, where your strengths are, who's really pulling the weight for you, who's the dead weight, who are you waiting on coming up, and whatever. You can then look at your gallery and go, do you know what, see if that guy had more XP, I would be absolutely jamming, or you need an R card, or you need a bit of ETH. You've got these opportunities to cash these things in to stimulate your club to move forward in SO5 or whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So a lot of individual strategy will come into this, and I'm sure we'll be able to make a lot of fantastic content around it, which I'm very much looking forward to. We believe giving managers a choice will create a significantly more interesting gaming experience. I completely agree. And part of the reason I always like kind of referencing Rainbow Six when I'm talking about this is because Ubisoft is very heavily involved, or they were heavily involved with SoRare, at least anyway. When there was Ubisoft Labs, and obviously they're out of that now and all the rest of it, but there's still obviously connections and relationships there. There's a question here about how can you make money and all the rest of it. You're worried about your business model or whatever, and you can read this for yourself. They're not worried at all. The app, are we getting it anytime soon? Doesn't sound like it's going to be soon, but it's obviously been on the drawing board for a while. The new reward restructure is going to, the dynamic one. Now, I want to say on this point here, right, I seen somebody on Twitter, somebody wrote a blog about a week ago or so, and I was only able to glance over it because I was quite busy, and I keep meaning to go back to it. 2 seconds, guys, sorry. Sorry lads, when the kids escaped. But one of the things we're talking about is like you should be able to change the amount of rewards depending on how many people are playing, and it's like you cannot, if you think that, you obviously don't have a grasp on circulation, and you don't have a grasp on the structure that the company currently has, because if the card amounts we have now are set, and they're always going to be set, when we get a new scarcity, that will also be a set amount of whatever that becomes. So if overnight you have 10 million users, you can't give out more cards than you are able to give out, so it has to be scalable, like they talk about with their supply, how many clubs they have, how many clubs are playing, and all that kind of thing, whereas headcount for competition isn't something that they can bend their will to, because then you run out of prizes, and then imagine they're running SO5 tournaments without prizes. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, basic bean counting basically. So yeah, and it's about optimizing it. Again, you can read that in a bit more detail, but that's all cool. How are you planning on dealing with the devaluation of cards? Because more cards come out every season, yada yada. And they're talking about collectors awards, and again, there's stuff in there you can go and read about it yourself. Sounds all cool, and I'm looking forward to it. Given the rise of ETH that will arguably continue, what are you planning to do to protect SoRare managers from losing their ETH on their investment while still making the return on fiat with reselling their cards? And then they do talk again about the ETH solution that they were talking about. So sorry, 2 seconds. Ethereum blockchain, it believes our technology did it. Yeah. Whilst we love ETH users, they've done interviews with different managers. They've shown that ETH pricing is creating frustration and confusion. They want to enjoy a great game of football, But again, the main thing they talk about, and they've said this kind of thing has been said on the last 2 AMAs that I've watched anyway, is that they love the NFT technology, right? That's what makes it, but it isn't supposed to be a crypto game, or an Ethereum game. This is to be a football game, and the technology that makes it special and makes it pop and makes it a game changer is the ERC code. I can't remember the exact number, I'm sorry. That makes it an NFT which runs on Ethereum. So it's kind of one of these things that you need the technology and it needs to be there, but what they're trying to do is make sure that you don't need to be a crypto expert to engage with it. They're trying to make it mass market. So again, that's kind of along the same kind of lines that they're talking about here that they're trying to do. Will they start scoring secondary divisions like Bundesliga 2? Not now, possibly. Are we going to know more about your plans and stuff? Again, you can read that. This was a really exciting one to see as well. They're talking about so when I read this answer, right, we were building a product that people weren't recommending to their friends, and we're looking, more football players are coming on board and all the rest of it. Getting football players on board who are passionate about the project validates everything. We're also speaking with YouTubers, football partners and agencies to bring SoRare to more fans. But not least, we're planning to activate major campaigns with the football clubs and leagues joining the platform. So what that last bit there says to me is that they already have marketing agreements in place, quite obviously, with all the licensed clubs, and it's like they're saving them all up. They're saving up all their credit with all these clubs and all these leagues, and they're just going to go woof. And to the people outside, your man in the pub, if you like, this is going to come out of nowhere, and they're going to be like, wow, where's this came from? That's the way that kind of feels to me anyway. That's the kind of vibe I get from it. So they're really ready to really give it a big push. And again, all the stuff that Nick and the guys talk about is about this being perfect. They're not talking about, we're going to go with SO11 next month and we're going to make all these changes, we're going to add all this extra stuff on. They just want what they've got to be absolutely amazing, pitch perfect as they look to build the game out, from where we're at. And again, all the answers remain consistent with that. The message remains consistent all the way throughout. Despite the AMA, and then again, I just thought this was a bit of a dick question, to be honest with you, in terms of like, can you even keep your own promises? Like, it's just a bit snide, and yeah, so you can read that if you want. I'm not going to pay it any attention. I've read it over. It's up to you if you want to read it. It's just something being wide, I think. Are there any plans to introduce any further free-to-play competitions like the One Shot League next season, or do Ubisoft have plans to expand the One Shot League? We're currently rethinking the Rookie League and our whole rebranding to introduce a more enjoyable free-to-play model. We're delighted to see how much fun the community's had. So yeah, there's lots of stuff coming basically in that sense as well. And then the last one, how do you manage to get a new club? Do you negotiate part of the revenue? So again, just has to be talk about, their NFTs, and they've got good relationships and it works for everyone involved. Ugh. It was a really good AMA, guys, and then there's more questions down here. I went through some of it, it was okay. I don't think we really got much more from this section, the second section versus the first section. But yeah. Card Hour, good to see my man. There will be a piece released on SoRare in a big newspaper in Belgium on Saturday. Wow. Good to know, Card Hour. Thanks for the breaking news. Wish I had... I'm building a soundboard. I'm going to get a breaking news button. That's good to know, Card Hour. Thank you very much for sharing. Breaking news thing. Make sure I write that down. Oh wow. Okay. So wait. Right, okay guys. So yeah, really happy with AMA. What was your thoughts? I kind of went through that there, and I don't think yeah. Guys, let me know. AMA. I like how they don't hide away from the toxic. Yeah, well that's XMK, it got upvoted in the top 15, they're going to tackle it. Fair play to them, they're pretty straight shooters, and yeah, no, fair play to them. I'd probably do the same as well. There was also a question that kind of referenced like Football Index, and they did just kind of bat it away a little bit, so that made me chuckle a little bit. It's like, I don't know what you're referring to. Blitzkrieg, fist bump, good to see you, my man. Mythip, Really want a way to build more common cards in the short term. The additional competitions and scarcity is exciting for the long term though. Yeah. Well, the thing with commons is... Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Card Hour. That'd be nice. The thing with the commons, right, is I've always been a big proponent of using your common cards as long as possible. And I think that they take it away from you too early at the moment. So, actually, I heard somebody saying... It was actually John. John was saying the Rookie League was open for him. And I seen somebody on Twitter who I like was talking about getting back into the Rookie League as well. Is it open for me? No, it's not. Is it open? It's open for some people, I think. That's weird. Must be open for people that haven't been on the podium, John. No, I think John has been on the podium. Oh, cool. So this is it's a Rivals Weekend special. So see, when I was doing this the other day and I did the drafts for my teams, I didn't actually know what the special was. That could be a nice card to win. It could be something really nice. The thing that kind of annoys me about that, but is that it's last season's card you're winning this season, you know. So I would really like that card if it was in season, and he's in your mind in association to that card. That card was won, and let's say it's Christian Roldan for Seattle. He played off the park, get man of the match, whatever, and then you won him, and then he got that card because he was the best player of the MLS Rivals section of the game week. That would be a special card to win, but if it's last season's, it's not quite the same. I think so. Anyway, I'm going to do my SoRare data leagues. Yeah, SD League, built my team. So I won last week, and my guy, the guy who I was against, it was a name that I was familiar with. It's an account that I know. I'll pull it up for you. He only played as goalkeeper. He didn't pick 10 other players. So did I click on this button? So it was a very easy victory for me. Yeah, he only scored 63 points. And it was Adrenaline. Adrenaline's, and I think I bought a card off him, or I've negotiated with him once or twice. He only played as goalkeeper, so I absolutely got an easy 3 points to boost the old ELO ranking. And by the way, I must say, SoRare Data's Twitter account, if you haven't checked it out today, do it. It explains the ELO. There's a nice little Medium blog, and it explains everything about the new structure for the SoRare Data stuff. And honestly, by the way, if SoRare Data keeps up what they're doing, it will definitely be it's definitely going to become a premier competition, you know, because it's so innovative. The structure and this ELO points ranking, how he's developed it, is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. So my ELO ranking get better because my opponent only played a goalkeeper. Now I'm going to play my most serious team, I think, in the Flint Michigan Mega Bowl. I'm trying to have a bit of fun with that, but I think I'd still go Tanny in terms of my goalkeeper. Van der Veer, Slovic. Nah, I'm definitely going to go Tanny. I think it's my number one keeper, and we'll go all black on the bench. So yeah, how are you guys getting on with the SoRare stuff? He's in a private league. How you know what have you been up to on this? Have you been getting involved in all this stuff? And translate it, of course. Thanks a lot, Card Hour. More so because goalkeepers are so rare. Yeah, totally. So I was actually having this chat with somebody with it recently, that when you start out, the common goalkeeper really helps you get up and running, getting involved, having fun quickly. But after a while, you will start to look at your goalkeeper as a handicap because you just will, you know. But it does help you get up and running. So it's about understanding its place, I suppose. Open for me too. I don't know what that means, Card Hour, I'm sorry. Slow-mo official Rookie League is open for me this week. I've been on SoRare for almost a year. That's so bizarre. Yep, they reset Rookie for those who didn't compete in 8 game weeks. Previously counted training weeks as part of Rookie quota. I've never ever competed in Rookie League ever. I think those that didn't use their full 8 tries in Rookie League get it. I've never been in it, so I don't know why I've not got it. I've never ever been in it. I didn't redraft my commons either. I've kept my OG commons from June 2020. I'm in the SoRare Data's League, but only have common goalkeepers, so I'm at a disadvantage. But I'm 1-1 so far from my play. Well done, pal. That's good. If you've not got a goalkeeper, you're playing with a DNP and 11 aside. Fair play to you. So let's see, in defence, who are my 3 best defenders? I think the first pick is going to be Hakimi. I think I'm then going to... Who's my second pick? I'm probably... who is my second pick? I'm tempted to go Danny Wilson again, by the way. I think I will. I'm going to go Danny Wilson, and then I'm going to go Robbo again. Oh, Richards. I better actually deal with that before I forget about it. Where is Richard? Where is Robbo? Where is Robbo? Oh, there he's there. Boom. Nice back 3. I really like that. Yeah, that's weird, Mike, isn't it? You didn't get it, I didn't get it. That's odd. And then I think I'll put Mbemba on the bench. No, I'm going to put Van Elwick on the bench because I just don't use this guy enough. He's such a secret weapon. But his team are so crap, you expect him to get beat all the time, but he still scores amazing. He's a freak of nature. In a good way. Okay, so I don't think Morgan makes the best midfield. I think Kamada does. I think SoRare does. Anyone down here? Sneaky guys. Yeah. Who's up at the top? Key's not playing. Ao Tanaka. He's away. Sangair goes in for sure. Thinking Chanatip, by the way. Kamada, SoRare, Sangar. I'm just going to play Tanaka because he's Ao Tanaka. And we'll put Zelarayan on the bench for this one. As backup. Any of these guys captain? I'm going to go captain SoRare on this one. And then up top, we're going to go 3 up top now. I think we're going to keep some of these guys the same. So we're definitely going to have Jordan and we're going to have Lucas starting. And then who will accompany them? I think I might go Sani. Johnny Russell again. Joe David. I'm going to go Joe David. And then on the bench we'll go Russell. Because I know he'll play. And then we've made captain SoRare. Oh no! We pressed load. Oh, Jesus. What about, is that not... Oh Jesus, has that screwed my whole team? It's a pain in the backside. Oh, I didn't do a save in between any of them. I'm a tit. That's why I save it all the time, because I know I'm liable to do something stupid and mess it up. Hakimi, Wilson, Robbo. Well, at least I know who they all are. And then who was the sub again? Van Elwick. I need to learn how to pronounce this guy's name because I know it's not Elwick. I can't help myself. Save. Right, let's see. Back to the midfield. So who did we pick again? We had Ao, Sangar, Kamada, and SoRare. And on the bench, Zelarayan. So I'm really tempted to start Zelarayan. Yeah. Keep it like this. I've got Zelarayan on a big team. I can do without him. And then we go. Who did we do captain for again? Captain SoRare, wasn't it? Save. There we go. And then up top, finally, almost get this done, guys. Eventually. Eh? Jordan wide, Lucas through the middle, and then Joe David on the other side of him as well. And then on the bench, we picked Johnny Russell because we know he'll play. Cool. Save. Brilliant. Let's have a look at that full team. Does it look good? Can we back it? Yeah. That's nice. I like that a lot. That's a brilliant team. Brilliant team. Danny Wilson at the back looks good with Robbo next to him. Now I'm going to sort out this under 23s Chris Richards situation before I forget. Right, so who else do we have that could play defence for the U23s that isn't taking... Van Elwick could come straight in here. Segura, Tio Hernandez, Ominami. We've got some really good choices, but they've got some tough fixtures. Which did Gabriel play tonight? He didn't. See, Gabriel is really good when he plays, but he's so in and out of the team. And I think it's a little bit of rotation as well as he has had some injuries and whatnot. Theo Hernandez will play against Juve, but I just don't really know how he's going to do in that match, to be quite honest. I've not really been following Juve as much since they got knocked out of the Champions League, because I just think that must have killed a lot of their momentum for the season, because they were nowhere in the hunt for the title, and they still aren't. Of course, you know, and they're big crowd champions. I think I'm going Van Elwick. Oh, Segura. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Ominami, Theo Hernandez, Segura, Van Elwick. Van Elwick's got a good multiplier already. I don't think I've had him that long as well. Theo. I'm going Theo. He's my man. Theo's my big man. He could get on. Let me check. Actually, that's what I'm going to do. I'm pretty sure Juve are ravaged by like injuries and stuff. I don't think Danilo's been playing. I want to check the preview for it. I want to see. I've got a feeling that Juve are depleted. XMK Productions, I think you will be right. If Arteta does get booted, somebody will definitely give Gabriel more consistent game time. Juve AC is one of the biggest matches of the game week, it must be. Will not play Demiral and Chiesa. What I want to check out is Juve. Juve have been winning, but they've been conceding. And AC have been kind of all over the place. I want to see the Juve defence in the last match. Danilo's been back. Sandro, yeah, strong. Bentancur, yeah, they're looking good again in terms of strength on the pitch. And then who will come off? None of the defence. Cuadrado and Correa was the only one. Is that the Correa guy from Valencia? Felix Correa? No, he's not. Oh, Man City graduate guy time. Oh, this guy could be good. By the way, keep your eyes open for him. Felix Correa. I wonder if he's got a card. Will he have a card? When was he at Lisbon? 2019. I wonder if he's got a card, by the way. Felix Correa. Let's leave him in there now. We'll come back to that in a second. Let's check this out. This could be a wee sneaky one just for you guys on the stream and me. Felix Correa. UV. Do you have a card? 64 followers. I'm so late to the party. Nah, no cards. I'm so late to the party on that one. I thought I was trying to be a sneaky guy. I don't think that actually fills me a lot of confidence with Theo Hernandez. So let me have a quick look at that one more time, just to iron that out. I'm expecting a wee bit of suggestion, guys. Valenzuela, I'm not going anywhere near with the DNPs he's been hitting me with recently. I think Van Elwick is probably the best shout, just because it's Van Elwick and he's get that. You know, if you've got the chance to play him and you don't play a guy like that, he's going to shoot 100. So I think he makes it in. He's making. I think this might be his competitive debut. I think it is. I think he's played All-Star D4 for me, but this would definitely be a first. And oh no, I'm not quite all different divisions. That's a really strong team. Miles Robinson, so good. I've got some really good. See, it's hard to play Theo. Gutman. Gutman could be good. At home to Toronto, and Toronto have just been smashed out of the Champions League. And they play. Oh, interesting. Nah, I'm not going to go with that this time. I'm going to keep my eye on Gutman because I think Takao. It's a tough one, guys. I've got some good guys here. Did I take Machida out All-Star D3 and put him in here? I think I keep Machida where he is. Van Elwick can do the job here. I know he can. Go Segura. He can shoot a 14. That's the worrying thing. He's got those gaps. Who was right mid for Juve? Because Juve have been playing like right mids that tuck in. And if you're playing a right mid that tucks in, like Wes McKennie or Ramsey, for example, when I was watching them earlier this season, then somebody like Theo Hernandez could benefit from that. Oh, what's happened here? I'm trying to find reasons to play Theo Hernandez because he's the AC shiny Milan card, It's been Quadrado. Nah, fuck that. If we're playing Quadrado and Danilo, nah, no touching that. Who we go with? Van Elwick. Ominami against a Vispa. Let me check that out. J League. So guys, what competition are you targeting this game week? I tried checking the prize pools the other day, but I don't think they're a Vispa. There we go. Vispa been doing okay. Kashiwa not as much. A Vispa at home, win or lose. Kashiwa away, just lose. Nah, don't want to be taking Ominami for this. I don't think. Yeah, can I rules you out of that, son? Farfan's been doing okay. I don't know if he'll still play. I'm really twisting this. I think Van Elwick is the pick, but I've got a feeling I'm missing a trick somewhere. Even with being cheeky and picking like Gutman, because the shape, New York are playing 3-5-2, like Leipzig style, and Toronto are still playing diamond, I think. So that favours an attacking fullback for exploitation. I'm going Van Elwick. He's just the least question marks around him. He's away to Peck's Wall. I'm not doing it. I'm picking Segura. I'm shiting it and I'm picking Segura. Did I just pick Machida? I'm picking Machida. Machida's the best defender there. I'm not messing about. Machida goes in and then I'm just going to play Ominami or Sunjic in Asia. It still says... Oh, it says I'm missing a guy from Challenger now all of a sudden, but I didn't play Van Elwick, did I? I did play and then I changed my mind, didn't I? That's what happened, yeah. Sack it, that'll do for our punt team. And then who else do we need to replace as a defender for D3 Asia? And who else do we have that can play? Sunjic, Ominami, and Takao. Sunjic, that's what I bought him for, was this type of occasion. So, Kashiwa away, I've not been doing well. And no, Captain Marcos, there we go. Cool, lovely. I think that's us wrapped a bit everything up, guys, that I was looking for today. Our teams, I'm quite confident we've not got any stupid... I'm going to recap them and we'll run through them again. And we'll kind of close the stream up. Again, guys, I'm really interested to see what you guys are thinking in the comment section as I run through these teams. We'll start with... We've just seen Asia, so we'll kind of go from regions into the middle, right, into the big ones. Ludo Lu, I don't actually know anything about Manolas recently because I've had 2 or 3 of them and I've sold them all. I've not been carrying Manolas and I've not been paying attention to Napoli for a little while. But Colorado at home to Minnesota, Miami at home to Atlanta, Kansas at home to Austin. Really excited for that America team. I've got a lot of other cards that can play that I just don't have the goalkeeper capacity for without the Titan. And without somebody else, like Paul Obi not being in the team is annoying at the moment. He could return, but I'm not going to hold my breath over it. Challenger Europe, you've just seen, that's a pure gamble team. Champion Euro, we're only going into D4, and I think it's a really strong D4 outfit, strong in midfield, strong up front, goalkeeper and defender are quality. And, All Black's got a tough game, right? But All Black can concede one in this game, make like 10 saves and shoot like 60-70 points, so I'm not actually really worried about him playing Barca. I just can't really get Trippier into a team, so I don't have another champion super rare that I could confidently say would play, and I wouldn't go champion Euro D3 without that second super rare. In Asia, I think you can get away with it. I think I've proven that already. But with Champion Euro, I'm not prepared to go out there and prove it. So I'd rather take the safe road. You've just seen me finish this team off again. I'm really confident about it. I'm really happy. Koki's probably a bit of an upgrade on Chris Richards in terms of form. And Schalke against Hoffenheim is a tough game, but Chris Richards is a good guy. I have taken him out without actually checking anything, so I'm hoping he's something obvious like suspended, and this little preview is going to tell me. But SoRare data, I do have a propensity to trust them because they've got Depay marked as being out, and I believe that to be correct. Will not play, and I do not see any American flags. Why do you think Chris Richards won't play? SoRare data. It's not a player I need to gamble on, as I've just demonstrated. I can bring in a guy like Tony Sunjic, who I've bought for this kind of reason, to facilitate me moving around people. So let's see. He's played 11 times, he's got 1 yellow card, so it cannot be suspension related. He came off in the 76th minute of the last game, and he's quite good for getting 90 minutes as of late. So I wonder if that was injury related. Now you can't see this little pop-up screen, right, but this is like the little pop-up screen from the match. And yes, a lot of the matches from the top 5 leagues have a running commentary section on Flash Scores. So when did he get subbed off? The 76th minute. So I'm going to go at the 76th minute. And yes, this is minute 75. Chris Richards is asking for medical treatment after picking up an injury. Chris Richards is substituted due to injury. Sebastian Hoeneß gives a chance to Kevin Voigt, Hoffenheim. Yeah, good catch, SoRare data, by the way. That saved me. That would have killed me if he didn't play. It doesn't look like he will, and I didn't notice that injury he picked up. That's fantastic. Class. Really enjoyed the stream tonight, guys. Who do you think the Brazilian team is? Yes, you still haven't told me. What divisions are you targeting? This is the under 23 D3. This is one of my pride and joy teams. The PSV stack up. Kosai Tani, who, do you know, when I was talking about the Hall of Fame in the club, a lot of people were telling me, oh, Black. But for me, Tani is probably my Hall of Fame goalkeeper. He's been ever present. He plays all the time. And even though his team is historically quite crap, he always does quite well. And then we've got the super rare boys up front, Jordan Larson, Lucas Nemeka, at home, and must-win games for both of them. They're both in good form, and I think this team is podium dangerous, big time. That team could do all sorts of crazy numbers. We'll start at the top, right? So we've put a punty D2 out, Trippier and Kessler, Defos to play, Efra should play, Akinola could play, and Steve Clark, who knows. So it's just fancy training for these guys, really, if nothing else. And D4, if you might have caught this, depending on when you joined the stream, but we're going quite strong. We're getting Chicharito in there, we're getting Florian Wirtz, Sanchez Eli, Denzel Dumfries, and our recent reward, Kim Sung-gyu. And as long as that picks up, the E4 will be happy, but I think that team can chase me a card if the chips fall where I think they can for some of those guys. That could be a really interesting D4 team. And the more interesting D4 is, the better, because it's a great division to score really high up on for kudos and whatever. And then this is probably on paper got to be the strongest team I've got, including super rares. So would I say that outside the D3, it's the best super rares I've got? Was there any? Would I put Trippier in as more likely to score better away to Orlando? They say the thing with Orlando and New York City, you might not know, right, is both of them were expansion teams. I think that team's a winner, by the way. Both of them were expansion teams, and they both came in together in the same year, and there's this kind of rivalry between the two clubs, and I expect that to be, it's something that does happen. I know it does. So it'll be a big game, it'll be a tight game. There's a good chance for goals, as always with both teams, the way they're set up at the moment, and I'm happy Medina is in good form and will continue it. So the Hall of Fame is almost fleshed out. I'm tempted to put the goalkeeper Tani in here just to, have a goalkeeper. It would be a real team then, wouldn't it? But I don't think the Hall of Fame should be about that. It shouldn't be about equal opportunity. It should be about my favourite 5 cards, my Hall of Famers. unadulterated for whatever reason. But yeah, loving this. My best 5 updated as well, so I've now got the mecha on it, as well as Tripliac, finally. Eo Tanaka's always been in my best 5, Disso's the pie. So it's good to see that's updated again. Balanced, we've now got Carlos SoRare, believe it or not, and the best 5 at the moment. And then defensive, we've got Chris Richards in it, who's been doing really well for us. What I actually thought when I first seen this is I thought, do you know what? Maybe I just put that team in D3 and see how well it does, because do you know what, it could, but the spine of it, Eo's away from home, and then as I say, Tripliac has Barcelona, so it's not really a strong team for the fixtures that we've got this week. So yeah, I'm not really too excited to do that this game week, but I will probably try and do that at some point. As you guys know, I like taking I don't mind running a theme, you know, do not mind it at all. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed. Chris Richards is a hamstring injury, transfermarket.com. Mikey, I think you're just telling me every injury is a hamstring injury these days, you know, because you know I don't like them. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the stream. Make sure, if you haven't already, you like, you subscribe, share, you retweet, all that good